Today on Live Daily News, the Bosque has new off-season hours, an ice truck was on fire this morning, and the DPS welcomes 101 new troopers. I'm James Bellini, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute, but first, the time is here to stock up and save on John Deere filters and packaged oil at the South Plains Implement semi-annual sale. Now through August 31st, receive 12% off John Deere oil and filters. Some restrictions do apply, and visit their parts department for details. Located at US 67 North at Tractor Trail in San Angelo, or with 18 additional locations, there is a South Plains Implement near you. South Plains Implement, where farm meets family. Starting off the news, an ice truck ignited several fires along Houston Hart this morning before stopping at the 277 and Old Ballinger Highway intersection, where the fire department was able to put the flames out. Crews could be seen at the scene spraying water under the truck, and it is unclear how the fire started, but no injuries were reported. Down along the Contra River in downtown San Angelo, the Bosque has announced new hours for the off-season. The Bosque will be open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. and closed on Wednesday. Then on weekends, it'll be open from noon to 8. Rentals of equipment from the Bosque will still close 1 hour before closing, but you can bring your own equipment as well. The Bosque features several outdoor activities such as an 18-hole mini golf course, washer pitching, and sand volleyball. Some of the activities are free, but the mini golf course will cost you $5, and kayak rentals will cost a fee as well. Have you downloaded the San Angelo Live mobile app yet? It's free and it's the best app in the business. Download it off the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to stay up to date with news in San Angelo. And the Department of Public Safety commissioned 101 new Texas state troopers at a ceremony at Great Hills Baptist Church in Austin, Texas. DPS Director Stephen McGraw said these 101 graduates represent the best and brightest there is. We are proud to welcome a new generation of leaders into the ranks of the DPS, and we look forward to all they will bring to this department and this great state. This trooper class included 86 men, 15 women, 34 military veterans, all ranging in age from 21 to 54. The newly commissioned state troopers will report across the states to their duty stations on September 15th. Into weather right now, it doesn't look like any rain on the radar for the area. The closest storms look to be the Llano to Kerrville line. But east of Wall in Montgomery County still could see a little bit of storms, but it does look pretty dry at the moment. The high today is 95 with a low of 70. Then starting tomorrow through Friday, there are rain chances each day. Tomorrow, though, the high is 94 with a 30% chance of thunderstorms and a low of 70 tomorrow night. Wednesday, we have about a 20% chance of storms that jumps up to 50 by the afternoon, a high of 93 and a low of 72. Thursday will be sunny in the morning with a high of 94, a low of 72, but we do have about a 20% chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. On Friday, looks pretty much like Wednesday with a 20 to 50% chance of storms over the course of the day, a high of 94, and then on Friday night, those storm chances dip to about 40% with a low of 71. Of course, it rains for the high school football opening day. When we come back, San Angelo Central Bobcats head coach Mark Smith talks to the press about how he felt his scrimmages went and their upcoming game against their opponent, the Abilene Eagles. But first, a word from the Bass Bunch.
It's our giant tag sale.
Right now, during our giant tag hail sale, you can get a brand new 2024 Ford Bronco Sport for just $25,999.
Don't miss our giant tag sale only at Jim Bass Cars and Trucks, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
All right, Coach, obviously first week, what have you seen since, fall camp opened until now that you've been impressed?
Just there's been a ton of excitement as the year's getting ready to start, and there was an even greater level of excitement this morning when we took the field, at 6:45 and hit it going. Just game week, there's a different feel when game week is here that creates an added level of just anticipation of what's to come on Friday. So, that's the first thing that I noticed is a genuine just love and excitement, ready to compete, ready to work. Let's figure out what this new team is, and what makes them tick, what's their DNA, and how can we get a great plan together to go attack it.
For you guys, welcoming back of a rivalry, in a sense this week with how historic San Angelo Central and Abilene High is, to be be able to continue that since Abilene dropped down to 5A? What's that mean to keep the West Texas football roots as historic?
I love that. To me, that's the little Southwest Conference, and Friday Night Lights and everything that is around what's great about high school football in West Texas is, in my mind, is Abilene, Midland, Odessa, San Angelo, all of those combined in one. So to be able to kind of play this game and to go back to the roots of, a long, rich history and tradition of great football at both of these schools, it means something. I know it means something to this community. I'm certain it means something to that community as well. Excited for it to be our first game.
Coach, I was going to ask how you felt about y'all's performance in the scrimmages. I
was happy. We did an inter-squad on the first weekend, and then we went to Del Rio last weekend. Really pleased with it, for a lot of different ways. First of all, logistically, traveling the first time together, a new way that we do everything. So I was grateful that we got to do that. How do we approach, each phase of what that looks like on the itinerary and being able to get ready and go compete. And then, playing a team, a really, really solid team in Del Rio. On offense, they run a flex bone, which is kind of what Air Force runs in college. It's unique. It's different. You don't see it a lot. And so, I gave our guys a day and a half to prepare for it. I was more focused on, what do we need to do to get this team better, not necessarily on Del Rio as we went through the week, but man, for a day and a half, we certainly did well, versus their schemes and what they like to do. Offensively, we stayed very vanilla. Again, just got into a couple of formations and only ran a handful of plays. And, again, just trying to kind of keep the top on, everything that we're doing. You only get the element of surprise one time, and so we've tried to keep a lot of those things kind of in and then get them ready for this week and future weeks.
I was going to ask about the running back position also, just because you had said as a committee. Last time I talked to you, just have any guys kind of risen to this?
I think that I think it will be a committee group again. We've had, several guys have kind of shined at one time or another and in different aspects of the running back position, whether it be, actually running the ball in protection or releasing out into routes. So I think we've seen, a handful of guys do those things at different times. There hasn't been just one person that has gone and said, I'm going to do all three of these things, with excellence and really grab the reins of that. But I think the running back position really lends itself to a committee type job. I mean, it's a physical spot on the field that is very taxing on the body. And, the old days of it being one guy back there and carries it 30 times are kind of behind us. So I'm happy with the guys that we have, and I feel like that it keeps them fresher. And we've got a great kind of 1, 2, 3 punch at that position. So I'm pleased with where they are.
How do you feel about your offense going into the Abilene defense that graduated a lot of senior talent last year?
Yeah, they had a tremendous defense a year ago. And, from whenever you play a first game, we have a scrimmage tape from them from Abilene Wiley, but then you look at a lot that they did a year ago, and what an amazing group that was. And, Coach Fullen is a great head coach there, been there a long time and was a defensive coordinator before he was the head coach, so got a great defensive mind, and he's always going to place an emphasis on that within his team. And even though they graduated a lot, they got a lot of guys, back or were role players a year ago, now in starting spots, and really good weak side linebacker, number 6 there, jumped out for me watching them. So they're going to be very well coached, in the right position, doing the right things, and I don't see a tremendous drop off with where they were a year ago to now.
Now flip that offensively, they brought back Henry and running back.
Yeah.
Bradford for as a receiver, but they did graduate their quarterback.
Yeah.
They had young defense last year that just had a hard time getting stops. Does that help your defense out all? Hey, maybe they don't have a really good quarterback. Maybe we can get to him a little bit more.
I'm excited, about I think the quarterback is a really good player for them. He's elusive. He's good with his feet. Throws a nice ball. I think his decision making is spot on. And I think he's got a really good wideout to throw it to on the perimeter. One of the best, that we will see this year. I believe he was the preseason, 5A Offensive Player of the Year for the state. And, that says something about, the quality of a player that he is. So when you got a guy like that on the outside and you got a dynamic quarterback that's taking the snaps and you got a really good running back, as well, you know, that's a three-headed monster and a lot of things happening. But, you know, I like where our defense is at. I really, you know, have been pleased with our strides that we've made. We've got to continue just straining with the right mental disposition to play down after down after down. Are they going to make some plays? They will. You know, they're a good team. But, you know, what we need to focus on is making sure that we limit those things and, you know, just play really good run defense. That's where the game is, you know, is won, in my opinion, your rush offense and your run defense. It begins and ends there, and then everything else is complementary off of that. If we can do a good job on the quarterback, contain him, keep him in the pocket, integrity and rush lanes, and do a really good job with that, you know, I think that we can, you know, be successful on defense.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the Giants and who will never, ever flinch.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Koos Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Koos Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Koos stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Koos at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thanks for watching the Live Daily News Show, the only locally owned news show in the Concho Valley. Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms, and download the San Angelo Live mobile app to stay up to date with news from in and around the Concho Valley. Thanks again, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.